Alright folks, I am 4 days behind on the garden tour for week 3. It's been a crazy week of just a lot of life situations happening, and then also like nothing traumatic or anything, like no one's hurt or sick, just a lot of life. And I've been blessed this week because with all the chaos that's been going on, I have at least had Mother Nature on my side, and she has been helping with the watering duties in the garden. So everything is looking so full compared to last week. I am already feeling the abundance of this garden, and we're still phasing out cool weather crops right now. Like my radishes are still doing amazing. I did pull some of the lettuce this week that was starting to bolt. That was just, and I'm saving some because I do want to save the seed. I ran out this year. But you really only need a plant or two saved, and go ahead and just turn it over and put your next crop in. So you're going to notice on the tour that, life's been good though. I am just sitting back in my chair after making a different content video that you will see later this week before week 4's garden tour. But we got done with the originally Florida weave intended thing that I ended up nixing that idea completely, and I decided instead to, I don't know the official name, but it's basically just you hang, it's done in greenhouses a lot, but you hang down twine and you wrap the plant around the twine, and that creates its own trellis system. And I used copper wiring at the top that you just like make jewelry and stuff out of, but it's a pretty sturdy one that I just had in my office of random craft supplies. And then same with the twine, and then T-post, and all of the containers are pretty much rose and hydrangea leftover pots from big box stores. But yeah, we're gonna go check out the garden. Sorry, I'm just enjoying seeing my lovely garden and all the hard work. So red. It's warm out. It's not hot. It's not like sweaty hot, but you can definitely feel a sense of the humidity in the air, especially after all the rain we've had for the past week. So without further ado, here we go. Okay, take you guys out zoom mode. I have my glasses back on so I can actually see what we're going to. So the hodgepodge abundance bed. You can see a lot of the carrots now are definitely making a little forest in there. And this is the Merlot lettuce that I am in love with. I will always have this in my garden. I will not pull this lettuce because I'm out of the seed, so I'm going to let it go to seed and save the seed because I love it. Carrot varieties, it's just a bunch of heirlooms. I pretty much took several of my Baker Creek envelopes that had a little bit of seed left in it, and I sprinkled them to get random. Oh look, I'm gonna commit some sins. This was actually a tomato bed last year, and there was definitely a tomato that had fallen here because that's tomatoes. But we can't have the tomatoes growing in with the garlic, so I will have to make sure to go through and pull a lot of that. So garlic bed, they're definitely starting to get about 3.5 feet tall, and I'm very excited because pretty much all the radishes are ready to be harvested. Oh look, more tomatoes. Just chilling with the radishes. But I'm gonna pick all of the radishes, so these won't be here next week. In the comments below, if you want to leave some cool suggestions for what I can grow in this very tiny space, that would be awesome. I do still have some eggplant and some herbs left from seed starting, and I think a pepper or two. But yeah, it's definitely, here's my pollinator garden gone crazy. Got a lot of sedum, echinacea, canna lilies. I think I see a random sunflower seed that probably got donated by the birds. Black-eyed Susans will be coming up here. Cat's mint that I've tried to murder for 2 years and it keeps coming back. Purple sedum. Not many seed starts left, which is awesome, but my flowers I have not got to even deciding where to put them in the yard. It was one of those impulse buys of, ooh, this is pretty. And we are going backwards this week in the garden, so I'm going to take a different path. If you can see, we are getting so close to being able to trellis our tomatoes for the big tomatoes. These are all slicers, and I like to call them mammoth tomatoes just because they're huge. But they are definitely starting to get big enough that hopefully by this time next week, I will be tying them to their trellis. And I'll make sure obviously to do a video on that. So over here, you can see all the lettuce now is gone from this portion of the bed, and it is officially lemon spice jalapenos for this bed, which I do plan on doing a lot of canning with on top of eating fresh. And look, Garden Kitty always with us. Bella! Who's a pretty kitty? Huh? But all the lettuce was pulled because it was starting to bolt and the flavor's gone. I still do have more lettuce there. Let's see. Oh, is she gonna be spicy? Are you gonna be spicy, kitty? Yes, always spicy. Hi. But down here, it's very sturdy for sure. But this is the ginger, and I've got a matching pot over there, and it's actually doing better in the shade. So I really don't want to move this bin though because it's supposed to be symmetrical, so I won't. You do see here in the beds that I have moved some of the straw, and these 3 spots I planted or replanted Caljari melons today. I don't know what came in, but something ate my little seedlings, so well, we're just planting them again. They'll get there. And then I did notice while I was out here, we're starting to get the buds to the purple teepees, and some flowers are about to bloom. So hopefully we will be having green beans very soon, because I will only eat green beans if it is fresh out the garden. I can't do store-bought at all. These are my poblanos, and they are loving this spot. Here's some of my younger started poblanos, and a few random heads of lettuce that survived and made it into the garden. But gosh, I just love these freckle spotted ones. They're so pretty. Give me a variegated leaf any day of the week, and I'll be a happy, happy little gal. You guys don't normally see this side. I do need to go through and pull, obviously, the lettuce that is bolting and not doing very good, but we've got some oregano, we've got some, well, this is the oregano, sorry, misspoke. Oregano, we've got lemon balm, which I intentionally did put, obviously, in pots. I will not put lemon balm in my garden because it can become invasive. But I do plan to use them for infusions and teas this summer. They have a really good quality for relaxation for myself. Our dill is looking amazing. Our calendula. Kale. Garden Kitty is just happy as can be, spending the afternoon out with mommy. With the baby, we're not always the happiest kitty, so she just gets to enjoy the peaceful time out here with me. Good kitty. But here is a French, I don't even want to attempt pronouncing it, but it's Baker Creek lettuce. It's definitely going to be bolting soon, so salads are in my future this week, as you can see, because they are beautiful. And look at this nasturtium. I mean, comparison, look how big it is on my hand. It's huge. So it's definitely, it's looking glorious in this spot. And more beans back here. I did do 4 different types of varieties right now, but these are on my bushes. And then I'm gonna throw in some of my pole beans probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks, just for a little bit of variety, but they're gonna be going over where the sweet peas are, and I wanna give the sweet peas a good chance of just continuing to harvest because they're so good right now. And then we've got some Early Fortune cucumbers, and this one on the end's an Ashley cucumber, but these are great for slicing. And then over here, this cucumber is the Chicago pickling cucumber. So yummy. Oh, and he's not doing very good yet, but I'm giving him time. We've got our basil lettuce leaf here, along with our hodgepodge bed as always. But we're not gonna really talk too much on it this time. But look how good this pepper tower garden is looking. I am honestly in love with how gorgeous my habaneras, my datils, or I've heard daddles, but that's from a very country friend of mine. And I think I have a jalapeno or two just snuck in here, but my peppers are looking phenomenal in here, except for maybe this poor little guy. Someone's getting to him. And then my blanket flowers, which are going to be a pretty orangish red, are really starting to fill out. I cannot wait. It looks like the first little buds are going to be blooming soon, which is awesome. We are in sugar snap pea heaven right now, though. Look at all those blossoms. This is the Wando. I'm not really in love with the Wando. I don't know. I mean, it's filling out, which is great. I just don't like the flavor, so I think I'm going to do a lot of shelling with these and freeze them for like stir fries, because they're just not as sweet as I was hoping, and I love my snap peas to be sweet. These are the magnolias. These are amazing. I've said on the video, I am in love with these, and my daughter is in love with these. We just crack open and eat them fresh all morning long when we're in the garden. And it's so easy. You just, there we go. Don't want to take the whole plant with me. So what I do to get into them easy and fast, because toddlers demand food instantly, is I crack this top spot. Let's see if I can do this. Can you see? And then I pull both the edges off, and then that provides easy access to the pods. And I just scrape them right on out. Sorry it's shaky, you guys are on my chin. Don't even know if you saw all of that, but yum. So I'm gonna enjoy my garden snack. And then, oh, they're just so tall. They're easily 6'5" at this point. I've got my purple tomatillos over here. I'm still trying to figure out the soil, because we'll come back to this. I planted these purple tomatillos at the exact same time, and they're starting to look a lot healthier, but they're really stunted on this side. And I mean, the tomatoes were stunted. I had horrible growth in this corner in general, and this is where I used to have my giant thyme, and I dug it all up and put fresh compost and raised bed soil because it wasn't a huge amount of filling that was needed here. But I'm wondering if it was contaminated, just because everyone seems to have been having that problem last year and this year with demand being up so high. So I don't know. I mean, the plants are coming in now really well. They're starting to put on flower buds. They're looking a lot healthier than what they were, but they were all sun scorched and starting to turn yellow. So I don't know. Down in here, look at that. I've never grown kohlrabi before, and it is gorgeous. I'm so excited for this though. I really want to make mashed kohlrabi because everyone says it's delicious. My poppy is starting to explode. I'm pretty sure this is the amazing gray poppy. And then I've also got a few in the garden that are falling in love, which are pinks. The peppers are looking amazing. These are the 2 random peppers I just stuck in the ground because my daughter pulled the tags out. So we're gonna see what they give me. More kohlrabi. And I think there's one more down here, which is awesome. And kale and radishes, if you were wondering what these are. Those were washed away. I don't even know what type they are anymore. It's been so long. The eggplant's doing really well. The soil is moved here because something ate a lot of my zinnias, so I just planted more seed for zinnias. But look at those potatoes. They're looking so good. And here's where I was talking about the lettuce. So, just in comparison from viewpoint of a not bolted lettuce to a lettuce that's bolting, there's usually 6 to 8 inch differences there in height. But what I've done with this is, you see here, this is where I put the lemon spice jalapenos. And my lemon thyme, going with the theme. I wish there was smell-o-vision. It smells so good. I could do that all day long. But I won't because no one will want to watch the video. So coming over here, it's looking rough right now because I pruned it and I tied them. But here's kind of, there's the wire at top. Where's my finger? There we go, okay. So there's the copper wire at top that goes all the way down. Sorry, it's trying to focus on my finger. And then if you want to see how I did these ties, I can show you. But they're really sturdy. They're not going to undo with weathering. It's an old fishing knot, so that I don't remember the name to. I just remember being taught by my dad how to do it. So sorry guys, I'll ask my dad. There's the garlic and the purple fingerling potatoes. And I'm actually really excited for dinner tonight because we've got some broccoli, which it's getting close to flowering, so broccoli's on the menu tonight. I will be coming out here. Oh, here's another good little guy. And I will be harvesting broccoli for dinner and then probably pulling the rest of this. I know you can like use it in stir fries and stuff, but I just know my family and I know they will not eat it. So, but they'll eat the top, so it's all good. They might even eat this guy, even though he's got a few blooms on him. But that's the goal, is to clear this spot out, put the last of the few plants. I'm letting this Tom's Thumb seed, and so I can collect the seeds again. Kale is looking amazing. I harvest on it every other day at this point, and it's just so prolific in my garden. And then the German chamomile is finally looking glorious. Here's a life lesson. When you buy containers, please drill holes in the bottom. Otherwise you end up with that, which that was a wild balm of some sort. And all the green foam on top is where the plant liquefied because of all the rain we got. So I will be dumping all of that in my compost and probably throwing the bins away because they're like a decade old, so they're cracking and falling apart. Look at this nasturtium. They are gorgeous. I am just in love with how gorgeous these nasturtiums turned out this year, because I didn't get a chance to plant the reds and the pinks last year, but look at that leaf variegation. I just grow things that make you smile. Grow things that make you happy. There we go. So in here we have a dahlia. We've got dill growing. This is the bouquet side. This is the giant elephant dill, and that's a yellow jacket. So I'm taking a step back, respecting his space or her space. But then just my wall of nasturtium. I planted it there because I didn't know where else to put it, and now it's very prolific. It likes that spot. So I'm gonna have to figure out some recipes to harvest all of this nasturtium because it's going to waste if it's not being used. And then this stalk right here is another dahlia, which needs to be supported. And this is all volunteer calendula, like we've talked about previously. Oh, ooh. We've got trees. We don't need trees though. So this is the calendula, and you can tell the difference from it being in the raised beds nutrition to a potted plant that has fixed nutrition in it. I need to give it some more love. I also need to weed eat like crazy. And that's just a daylily that I pulled from the front garden. But yeah, and Garden Kitty is waiting patiently for me to be done. So this was just a quick tour to show you guys what's going on in week 3. Yeah, today's May 21st, 2023. And hello, good sire, my next door neighbor's rooster. That's not supposed to be here, but it's okay. I don't have a lot of followers, so I doubt anyone reports her. And then my cherry tomatoes, just a little quick side. I see them there. They're finally recovering because I definitely lack of nutrition, plus not up potting them stunted them really bad. So if my cherry tomatoes do fail to the aphids, those have now all been worm casted and they're starting to really put on some growth. So I'm very excited about that. But here's some pretty roses. Welcome to Lauren's ADHD brain. It's a scary, scary place. Just a few of my pretties that are good for pollinators. But yeah, I cannot wait for this place to explode. I do hula hoop for anyone that's kind of curious about that. And I show you real life, which is pool kid toys in the yard and containers not washed out and put away. Containers that really need to be washed out and put away. The old peppers. But yeah, here she is. As a whole. So you can kind of see what's going on in my world. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this garden tour day, and just remember to go outside and get your hands dirty.